All right. What is up, everybody? Keith Jameson, go back Gator Guy 231 across DFS history. And just a quick admission, this video almost didn't happen. I was sitting at dinner. I was like, oh man, what do I have tomorrow? Work-wise and DFS-wise. And like, oh my God, soccer's actually back. Because the weekend was so weird, not having EPL, and just kind of threw off the cadence. So it's actually a really fun slate. We don't like the big teams are kind of aren't huge favorites, right? Liverpool, not even minus 200 favorite at home versus Ajax, which is kind of crazy. You got Bayern and Barcelona playing each other. That should neutralize them, maybe. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Porto, the biggest favorite. So it's going to be a fun little 5-game slate. Quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment on the video if you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, or if you're on Apple. It all really, really helps. And final plug. Make sure you subscribe. FSI, I think it's, I don't know, $15 a week. If you want all the soccer cores, just a ton, showdowns, classics, early, all sorts of fun. We'd love for you to join. All right, let's get to it. Enough settling. We got to stick with this 10-minute window I've been going on. This might go 12. We'll see. All right, let's talk about the quick odds. 5-game slate because the Napoli game is canceled. Liverpool minus 182 hosting Ajax. Must win for Liverpool in so many ways. Got Bayern. I never say that. Leverkusen. I don't ever say Bayer. Leverkusen hosting Madrid. Puke Bowl plus 163, plus 125. They're just even. Porto, biggest favorite on the slate, minus 227, hosting Bruges. Got Bayern hosting Barcelona, minus 120. Lewandowski back to Munich. Then we have Marseille, minus 110, hosting Frankfurt. All right, let's start with Liverpool and Ajax. And the reason I want to do that is because I do think that Liverpool might be a place that we're targeting. Andrew Robertson's out. Thank you, SofaScore, for not having that right. That should be Tsimikas. And I think that Tsimikas and Trent Alexander-Arnold are just locking loads, both under 7,000. Look, this is at Anfield, night game at Anfield, team reeling, people talking about is Klopp ready to go, all this stuff. I expect actually a huge reaction from Liverpool in terms of especially the first 30 minutes. I'm not going to go with the scoreline. That's the coolest thing about being DFS is like scoreline doesn't really matter. Like goals and crosses matter for what I do. So I think that Tsimikas and Trent Alexander-Arnold are just too easy. Pricing is soft on the slate overall, so they're just so easy to do. They should both be, double-digit scorers. I think they're just easy to lock and load. I think one of the biggest decisions on the slate is do you play Mo Salah at 9,000? It's just really ironic and horrible, and whatever else I can say. Robert, man. Firmino, 9,600. Salah was like 9,000 or 9,100. That's just silly. But that's the only other play to me is Salah. I guess you could say Diaz to pivot, but should be Salah. That's it for Liverpool. Nobody else to really discuss. I think Salah is perfectly fine if you expect Liverpool to roll. And then, if you feel frisky, like Liverpool wins like 3-0, 4-0, like Ajax backline has not looked great this season in the Dutch league, so much less in Anfield. So, if you wanted to go to Tsimikas, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah, and Diaz, and Firmino won't be owned at all at this price. So that's really interesting. On the Ajax side, not interested in much. Tadic, if he was like priced down at like 7,500, I have a debate. At 11,000, it's not even in play. I think someone was Monopoly. He sometimes splits with Berghuis. You don't need either one of them. There's just no plays. There's no plays on Ajax. Just the way they priced it. They just took Ajax out of play. So let's move on. Porto, hosting Bruges. Porto does have some plays. Let's just start out with one of the locks of the slate. Why is he not in? I'm going to pause. Why is Otavio not showing? Give me a second. All right. So Otavio off on a stretcher at the end of the game. I missed that completely. He was going to be easy lock and load at 5,200, Monopoly set pieces. Awesome player. But now everything's kind of thrown in question with Porto, especially considering their top striker, Taremi, is suspended as well. So this is kind of how it's been playing out with Porto. All right. Is Sanusi and Mario, when Otavio wasn't on, were splitting sets. Now, funny story is Esquidi, I can't say his name, Stevie Boy. Let's just call him Stevie Boy from Canada. Takes their set pieces for Canada. Wasn't playing. He could take. Pepe doesn't take, but Pepe actually has really good open play value. And then Wander Sinclaino can take as well. He used to be a taker. So actually, let's just pull up Wander Sinclaino real quick. Let's make sure. No, he didn't take there. Did he take there? By the way, if you guys there's so many ways to pull corners, but to me, I love heat maps. This is a sidebar. I freaking love heat maps because I feel like you can see how much a player tracks back, how much they're attacking, kind of where they want to go. So you can kind of picture the game. So It's Sanusi, Mario, or Esquidito. Stevie Boy. Actually, no, why did I keep trying to say it? Stevie Boy from Canada. Those are our sets. I don't know which one's going to be. I think you're fine to take John Mario Sanusi, but we already have 2 defender spots filled. So Evangelson is a really good player. Tony Martinez actually started last season in Porto, like super hot. But the answer to all this might just be that, Porto, despite being the biggest favorite, isn't like a priority piece in terms of sets. Now, maybe they are in terms of other type of ways to go, like for GPP, right? For Evangelson or Tony Martinez at forward. But, dang, that really screws up my like attack mode. So I'll have to keep going. Let's move over to Bruges. Bruges, Scott Wilson is still too cheap at 4,900. He sat on the weekend, so it should really open him up to play a full 90 here. I'm not that worried about the odds here. I think that Porto minus 220 is actually maybe a little bit heavy. So I think Bruges pieces, Scott Wilson, if you need the savings, is there. Yeah, take him close to Monopoly. Now he splits. I should not say close to Monopoly. He splits with Casper Nielsen. Casper Nielsen was great for us last time. Do you remember I mentioned I'm really liking him as a value? He's now at 3,200. Jesus, he's still at 3,200. So yeah, depending on your build, like that could be a really good play. 3,200. Man, they didn't adjust him at all. They adjusted Scott Wilson to 4,900, but not Nielsen. So yeah, I think those are both fine value plays. It just depends on the site. It's gonna be really easy to get to Kimmich. That's just the whole thing. It just depends on the forwards. So that's about anybody. Hans Vanaken, the Lord for GPP is fine. They might start your Remchuk, Chukla, all those guys, GPP only, in my opinion. Let's go to Bayern versus Barcelona. Last time Bayern and Barcelona faced, Bayern pretty much ended Barcelona's like what we thought of Barcelona, right? What was that? 7-2, 8-2, lots of 2, whatever. It hasn't been the same since. Barcelona would love to get like some revenge here, but I think this is it's not a great spot for Barcelona. Going to Bayern. I think Kimmich, even at 10,000, they priced him way up. I think you just lock and load him. Question is, you take another 4 from here. I saw Mane was cheap. More, the joke was, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Mane made a joke saying to Muller, don't accidentally pass it to Lewandowski because Muller assisted him so much. Sane's in play, but Kimmich is the lock. The fullbacks don't really get forward much of Bayern. I don't expect them to, especially with the attacking talent that Barcelona has. So, it's really Kimmich, and then GPP is like Mane, Moore, Sane, Gnabry, Koeman, whoever they start. For the Barcelona side, there's only one piece I should like really consider in any format. That's Dembele. He splits with Rafinha on, but otherwise Dembele has been like one of the best players in the world under Gavi. I was talking to Sean, PSU fans, about it in terms of like so rare, but like Dembele, like since he's been healthy over like the last course of like the end of last season, now like he has like, you could argue he's been one of the best winger in the world. It's just been that dominant. I don't think it's a great spot, but for GPP, I really like that. I think in GPP, a lot of people might go Lewandowski, but that actually might be a really good fade. And just go Dembele. Just if you think that Lewandowski is going to get ownership. Nobody else is going to play here. Rafinha, I guess, technically, but if you're going to play Rafinha, just play Dembele. We already went over that there's enough savings. Let's go to Marseille, hosting Frankfurt. For Marseille, so this is the lineup. Actually, really like Alexis Sanchez. He's priced down. He's at 6,200. He's been taking some set pieces. Been really good for them in the French league. Frankfurt has not been great at all in the Bundesliga. So I really like Alexis priced down. If then he might take some sets with Klaus. If Payet is in, though, Payet's going to take. He's expensive, but based on the value and how your builds go, you might be able to find it. They're a solid home fave, minus 110. That's solid. Fine. Marginal. Whatever word you want to use. They're a favorite. Okay. We can all agree on that. Cool. But Payet would be fine. But again, Alexis price really stands out. The wingbacks, Nuno Tavares and Klaus, they don't cross that much because Alexis is a striker. It's not like a target man, not somebody you're trying to throw up his head. So Klaus is fine. It's not the same Klaus we used to have, but he'd be fine. It's like a third defender if you want to go that way. At least it's a favorite. But less so if Payet's in. For Frankfurt, the sets have been Jesper Lindstrom, and then whoever plays left back, whether it's Pellegrini or I'm blanking on the name of the guy, but I don't think he's going to play. He got subbed off like 2 slates ago early. Pellegrini starting the weekend was pretty good. Pellegrini, I think, starts again. So probably Pellegrini wins from split. I don't like either of them. Yeah, I don't really like Frankfurt here. Marseille's actually a really tough team to play through. So, hey, I chose. That's 5 games. I don't know where I'm at time. The Octavio thing really screwed me. really screwed me up. Like, shame on me for not like digging deep. Like, I just went through DK, looked at the injuries, thinking that DK and RotoWire would have that updated. They didn't. So anyhow, if Otavio is there, if it was like a phantom stretcher, sounds terrible. But if he's in, he's a lot. So the core would be TAA, Tsimikas. I don't think Otavio is in, but if he's in, he's a lock. If not, just go Kimmich. Then there's not value. I kind of went over like you have the Bruges guys. If you want to play the Porto death, like set of death, you can. I should have said this back in Porto. I think the hardest part about playing Sanusi, João Mario, or Stevie Boy from Canada, I think that's what I call him, is if they don't have sets, they're kind of like dusty. Like there's not much to give you. Like those fullbacks don't cross and open play that much, especially without Taremi. Taremi is the guy that they would hit the ball to, or they would cross the ball trying to get the heads off of. So I think Porto, I think they might go over own, but again, Emmanuel's a really good player, so he'd be like the guy I feel okay with. So anyhow, core, TAA, Tsimikas, Kimmich. I'm gonna stop talking. I have nothing better to talk about. Hope you guys do well. I'll be back tomorrow for Wednesday slate. Good luck. That'll say. See you.